Chapter 197, 153 Hidden Dragon Top 500 4K, requesting monthly ticket and subscription, /2. Having figured out these things, Lu Chenju sought out Chenju. Opening the door, Chenju's eyes immediately lit up. Chenju, have you reached perfection? Lu Chenju nodded. I reached perfection when I woke up this morning. After Chenju inspected him, he indeed found that his entire body had transformed into a golden film. He thought to himself, incredibly surprised. This kid's cross-training talent is even beyond my estimates. I originally thought it would take a week to transition from the copper film to the golden film, but it only took 3 days. Lu Chenju inquired. Mr. Chen, I would also like to learn the golden body skill from you in the future and would appreciate your guidance for sparring training. Do you have the time? Chenju pondered for a moment before saying, if that's the case, the expenses this month would be substantial. Lu Chenju replied, I can manage it for now. Chenju smiled and said, all right, come find me when you're ready. Since you're subscribing for the long term, I'll give you a discount. 50 great merit points per month will suffice, all right. As a breakthrough second shackles practitioner, Chenju's time was also very precious. He planned to contend for the third shackles breaker position and aimed to become a high-ranking Earthlist martial artist in the future at the All-Nations Martial Arts Competition. Thank you, Mr. Chen. Having solved a tricky issue, Lu Chenju left in high spirits. November 8th, he got up early in the morning. Your Hidden Dragon list score has increased by 1024, current score 10,064. Your potential list ranking has risen to the 500th place. Maintain your current ranking and you'll receive 3 great merit points per month, which will be automatically credited to your campus card by the school administration department at the end of the month. Keep up the good work. Congratulations for achieving the Hidden Dragon Top 500 achievement. You receive a one-time reward of 100 great merit points from the school administration department. Current great merit balance, 210 points. In the morning, Lu Chenju was bombarded with these messages. I've gone up again. I'm in the top 500 now. He was momentarily unable to grasp the news. Who would have thought that at the beginning of the year, he had been ranked beyond the 3,000 mark? I guess Mr. Chen must have reported my hard Qigong cultivation status to the evaluation committee. Even though hard Qigong isn't my main focus, it's still a plus for the potential list. Plus, I went to check my Qi blood level last night, and it has improved to 5.8, only 0.39 away from 10th rank. Once the Qi blood data is synchronized, it will also automatically add to my score. The reward of 100 great merit points was an unexpected pleasure. Lu Chenju glanced ahead and saw a genius who was even younger but ranked above him. 484th place, Li Fu, 14,333 points, main campus of Dragon City Martial Arts University. Jai's sister seemed to have mentioned him to me before. Rumor has it he possesses a martial bone Dao embryo, suspected to be innate 9 apertures, which is also a special kind of martial bone Dao embryo. Such people often have a fast rate of opening the acupoints. Moreover, Li Fu himself has intermediate root bone. Such people, if they don't die young, are surefire grandmasters. Although just a gatekeeper within the top 500, Lu Chenju was happy. Competing with martial artists, special-level martial arts talents, and even martial arts geniuses, he had enough to be proud of. During breakfast, his master called him. Ha ha ha, you made it to the top 500, I knew it. Old Jai was all smiles. Good news came one after another. He actually had a disciple amongst the top 500 of the Hidden Dragon list. After old Jai hung up, Lu Chenju received a transfer. Your account ending in 9527 has received a transfer of 500,000 from Jai Chuantong. Note, top 500 reward, disciple. Wait for you to reach the top 100 before I give you another big red envelope. Master. Lu Chenju was helpless. Master was truly treating him like his own son. It wasn't long before Jai Feiyan's congratulatory call also came bombing in. Damn, little brother, what did you do again? I have perfected my Arhat skill. Before hanging up, Jai Feiyan joked, I declare from now on, you're the leader of the 3 truths. When you make it big, little brother, don't forget your 2 sisters. She was truly impressed by Lu Chenju, gradually understanding why Shiruyu always maintained a calm demeanor because Shiruyu was no longer surprised by anything. Making it into the top 500 was a big deal. Classmates familiar with Lu Chenju came to congratulate him. In the afternoon boxing class, old Tian looked at him as if he had seen a ghost and said, "Damn it, not even a rocket climbs as fast as you." Xiao He, the only student in the genius class ranked beyond 1,000 on the hidden dragon list, felt absolute despair. To the point where it was the first time in his life he doubted whether he was a genius. Wang Handa also came over to congratulate him proactively. "Congratulations, our class now has 2 in the top 500. He was ranked only slightly higher than Lu Chenju. Breaking into the top 500 was extremely difficult. Chen Zion said boastfully, "Then it's my turn next." Yao Cheng and Zhou Xingkang felt a strong sense of urgency. In 3 days, the Hidden Dragon martial arts competition would witness the emergence of a dark horse. During class, Lu Chenju exercised diligently, practicing Tiger Spirit Divine Strike while maneuvering through the mechanism course with Tiger Shadow Mysterious Step. In this way, he could cultivate both martial arts skills simultaneously. Li Gui watched calmly from the side. Knowing that Lu Chenju had achieved perfection in Arhat skill, he sighed with relief. The legal assistance tonight is now more secure. At 6 in the evening, at Pingjiang Police Station, Lu Chenju arrived as expected and entered the meeting room, where 3 figures in black plainclothes were already waiting. One of them, with a buzz cut, looked utterly surprised to see Lu Chenju. He happily exclaimed, "Chenju, Wang Gang." Lu Chenju was also somewhat surprised, not expecting Wang Gang to be invited as well. But thinking about it, it made sense, as there were not many students from the Sioux City Martial Arts School who practiced hard Qigong, and even fewer who had any fire control. After a brief exchange of greetings, Wang Gang pointed to a man next to him and said, "This is Luo Gang. He's my Iron Crotch skill teacher, a 9th-rank expert." Lu Chenju smiled faintly. "Nice to meet you, Mr. Luo." Luo Gang stood up to shake hands, saying, "Wang Gang always talks about you. Mr. Lu indeed has an extraordinary cross-training talent." The last person was a slender, somewhat masculine and handsome woman. Wang Gang introduced, "This is Liu Ying, a rare female hard Qigong cultivator. She's my friend and is currently at Jiangnan Martial Arts University. I got into hard Qigong because of her." Turns out the room was full of hard Qigong cultivators, all acquainted with Wang Gang. The circle was small indeed, which was quite normal. Lu Chenju couldn't help but give Liu Ying another glance. A woman as capable as any man, impressive. Liu Ying smiled politely and said, "My hard Qigong comes from Wudang. Let's add each other as friends. We could exchange our experiences." Wang Gang mentioned that he has never seen a cross-training marvel quite like you. Lu Chenju felt helpless inside. This Wang Gang, always exaggerating about him. While on the task with Lu Chenju, Wang Gang said with a cheerful grin, "Chenju, I've been busy preparing for my winter exams recently. Haven't had the time to cross-train with you. Your Arhat skill must be nearing perfection, right?" He knew that Lu Chenju's hard Qigong teacher was Iron Pine Dragon, a master from the mystic list. The sparring from such a strong figure was much more effective than his own. Lu Chenju nodded. "It's already perfect." Wang Gang's face instantly showed an expression of surprise and envy. "Damn, let me see your golden body." A 9th-rank cultivation and the perfected hard Qigong. He couldn't believe that this was the same Lu Chenju who he had outperformed on the field a year ago. Now he was only 7th rank and had yet to grasp the Hua realm. Lu Chenju rolled up his sleeve, revealing an arm gleaming like gold. The eyes of the 3 people present immediately fixed upon it. Luo Gang was slightly startled and said, "The golden light is translucent, naturally formed. This is indeed a golden body, not the golden light stained by golden jade ointment. Mr. Lu truly is a cross-training genius." Liu Ying's pupils reflected the golden light. Truly strong. She had diligently practiced Wudang's 2nd-class Qigong primordial skill for 4 years and was just achieving great success. According to Wang Gang, Lu Chenju had only been practicing Arhat skill for 1.5 years. Is this the gap between individuals? If her martial arts weren't steadfast, she might have broken down. Wang Gang passionately stroked Lu Chenju's arm, unable to let go as if admiring a rare treasure. Lu Chenju saw that Wang Gang was almost drooling. Heh, so this is the Arhat golden body. Chapter 198, 154 Factory Night Battle 4K. As people admired Chenju, a towering figure walked in. Lu Feng chuckled and said, "Golden Buddha R-hat body not bad. All right, everyone take a seat. Let Officer Ren introduce tonight's mission and arrest plan." Lu Feng also felt a slight stir in his heart. As the leading practitioner of hard Qi Gong and head of the Vajra group in Sioux City, he was quite known to those famous for their cultivation of hard Qi Gong in Sioux City. Naturally, the person with whom he had the most fate was Chenju. Chenju's 2 acts of heroism had greatly pleased him. Upon further understanding, he felt that Chenju's character was similar to his own, a kindred spirit. Once everyone was seated, Lu Feng stated, "Before we start the mission, let me say a few words. I've invited all of you here not just for a simple judicial assistance mission. Due to the situation, the country needs to cultivate a group of hard Qi Gong talents with cross-training capabilities to establish the Vajra group. The Vajra group in Sioux City will be under my responsibility, Lu Feng. Observing for years in Sioux City, I've found that the 4 of you have great cross-training talents and are capable of being nurtured. If you can complete this mission perfectly, you might consider joining our Vajra group. After joining, you can undertake specialized judicial assistance missions that require hard Qigong. Such missions have higher bounties than ordinary ones, and if you perform exceptionally, the Vajra group will also reward you with external medical medicines to aid in your cultivation. If you wish to cultivate even more profound hard Qigong, you can earn it through missions as well. In short, the Vajra group is newly established and has many benefits. Those who join early will become the veterans. If any of you know any extraordinary talents in cross-training, you're welcome to recommend them to us, and there will be plenty of rewards." Lu Feng's speech was like that of a startup company boss luring people. However, considering the backing of the authorities, everyone couldn't hide their excitement. It meant that they were also considered special martial arts talent in the eyes of the state. Wang Gang clenched his fist and swung his elbow, laughing excitedly. "Ha ha ha, Chenju, I told you the spring of hard Qigong would come." His years of perseverance were finally seeing dawn. In the future of martial arts, hard Qigong will surely have a place. Luo Gang said without hesitation. "As long as the country needs it, I'm willing to join. It will be much better to practice hard Qigong with like-minded people than to work alone in isolation." Liu Ying stated. "I'm also willing." Chenju responded. "I need to think about it." As a student of the genius class, joining a social organization required consultation with the school. He also tended to join, seeing it perhaps as his opportunity. Lu Feng continued. "Officer Ren, please talk to them." Officer Ren was a capable female officer with short hair and a 9th-rank cultivation. She smiled slightly and said, "All of you know how to use a gun, right?" Wang Gang replied, "Report I don't." He was a high school student who had never undergone practical training. Officer Ren said, "Then you can follow me. Our action location is the Baekang Machinery Manufacturing Factory in Pingjiang District. The criminal suspect is named Wang Kang. According to our investigation, this person smuggles illegal prosthetics from abroad and sells them at high prices in the underground black market, profiting from it. Moreover, judging from this person's actions, he is suspected of having joined the Blue Lotus Society and has become a core believer in just a year, gathering a group of people under him." After listening to the officer's introduction, Chenju appeared thoughtful. Wang Kang. This man had paid the compensation money back to his father during his competition last year, and Chenju had thought he was turning over a new leaf. Unexpectedly, he had actually joined a cult. A leopard can't change its spots. Wang Jian probably didn't even know what his own brother was doing. The police probably hadn't informed him either, to prevent him from covering for a relative. Chenju withdrew his thoughts. Before the operation, Lu Feng stated, "Officer Ren, bring everyone back safely. Those cultists, if you can capture them alive, do so. If not, killing them is fine. Remember, your safety comes first." His tone was icy when he mentioned killing. Officer Ren wiped sweat from her brow and smiled. "I understand, Chief, don't worry." Pingjiang District. The winter breeze blew through, bringing a chill. Inside an abandoned factory near the river, a figure moved in the dark to find a button, and a secret door in the ground opened, revealing a deep tunnel underneath. He looked around before diving in, traversing the gloomy corridor until he reached a room at the end with dim lighting. In the room, a group of people with sallow complexions were lounging on sofas, drinking and playing cards. In the central position was a slightly overweight man with his shirt off and smoking a cigarette. It was Lu Guoping's former boss, Wang Kang. Wang Kang glanced at the man and asked, "Has the new shipment arrived?" "It has." The man opened a small case behind him where a mechanical arm with a silver-white metallic luster lay, seemingly identical to human hand, vivid and lifelike. He introduced, "This is the Silver Hand first-generation machine, discarded by Stark Military Industry. It's all made of C8 alloy with a chrome-silver coating and has a chip, Taiga Heart, integrated within. Even ordinary people can quickly get the hang of the Silver Eagle Federation's third-rate fighting skill, Taiga fighting technique, with this. Combined with a powerful dynamic system, it can easily flip over a small car, plus it has retractable alloy claws." Wang Kang looked at his severed left hand. It was amputated last year while carrying out a mission for the organization, in a fight against another Black Knight. He had been waiting for this and had not gone to the hospital to install a prosthetic just for this opportunity. Grinning, he said, "Even if it's discarded, military-grade stuff is badass." The man said, "The clearance price, 8 million, took it." Wang Kang laughed. "Good, it counts as a great merit for you. When I meet the incense master, I'll put in a few good words for you. But let me be clear, to become a real core believer, you need divine wisdom. If you lack it, you can only be an ordinary believer. But don't worry, when our God descends to this world, everyone under the heavens will have divine wisdom." Chapter 199, 154 Factory Night Battle, 4K/2. The man said excitedly, "All right, thank you so much, Boss Wang." Wang Kang looked toward his bedside, where a bizarre goddess figure was placed, stark naked, standing on a blue lotus, with a halo of lotus flowers above her head, androgynous in form. Behind her, she had 32 indigo flesh wings, in the likeness of lotus flowers, her expression both commanding and serene. He chanted in his heart, "O Lord of the Lotus, who purifies the mortal world." In the next moment, Wang Kang's spirit seemed to be grasped by an invisible hand, and in a trance, he arrived at a Jiangnan villa, where someone in the study room was playing a gyukin. "Wang Kang, what brings you to me?" "Incense Master, I have found another person who might possess divine wisdom." "Excellent. If this person is approved by our Lord, I could teach you the Incense Master chapter of the Blue Lotus ancient scripture. You must cultivate diligently. Divine power is the foundation of all divine skills and the core of transcending the mortal flesh. Always maintain devotion to our Lord, and one day, you too will ascend to the Blue Lotus ancient realm, to cultivate by the side of deities, enjoying eternal life undying. I will certainly do my best for the organization." Wang Kang opened his eyes, his heart racing. "Martial arts, how can it compare to the divine method of becoming a god? Even though I possess low-class root bone and have achieved nothing in martial arts, scorned by my elder brother, but my Lord has accepted me, taught me the supreme laws of immortality, and granted me power from the gods. That is the true savior. One day I will make Wang Jian regret. And that damned Lu Guoping too." He looked at his subordinates and said, "Go out and stand watch, I need to cultivate." "Sure thing, boss." To facilitate Wang Kang's preaching, the Incense Master had arranged for 2 core believers, who had both successfully achieved ascension and mastered the Blue Lotus skills, their capabilities formidable. Even a Hua realm martial artist, if careless, could fall victim to their methods and perish. There were also 2 third-rank prosthetic Black Knights. Wang Kang was very satisfied with his current life. Those haughty martial artists of the past, weren't they now serving him? Outside the dilapidated factory, 4 police cars quietly blocked the main road. For this mission, Officer Ren only brought 10 officers. Aside from her, they were all of dark force strength. Lu Feng said with these hard Qi Gong masters he had invited, it would be sufficient. She gestured with her hand. "Wang Gang, stay close to me." "You got it, Officer Ren." Wang Gang was wearing a mid-level advanced protective suit, purchased by his father. It was his first time on a combat mission, and he was somewhat excited. Officer Ren looked at the other 3 hard Qigong masters. "It's up to you all to handle the core cultists, and don't forget to use your guns." Lu Chenju pulled out a tiger-faced metal mask from his pocket and placed it over his face. Given to him by Li Gui, it had 3 purposes: to conceal his identity, protect against poison and hidden weapons, and to look cool. It seemed unremarkable, but cost a whopping 100,000. He patted his pocket. There was also a packet of quicklime dust. Under leopard woman's influence, everyone in the genius class carried lime. Most of the time it was useless, but on occasion it could have a miraculous effect. After blocking off the factory, a team of police with riot shields quietly approached the sealed door, while other officers controlled all possible exits. The sealed door was opened. Fully armed, Officer Ren was the first to step in. As soon as she entered, gunshots rang out, bullets pinging off her and falling to the ground. Clearly, Wang Kang's men had discovered them. Be careful, gentlemen, and do not rule out the possibility that these people have high-power firearms. If you don't have a high-level advanced protective suit, take cover. Do not try to resist the bullets. Officer Ren cautioned. No sooner had her words finished when a figure darted up to the top of the factory pipes like a bird, using the wall to climb. It was Lu Chenju, crouching and moving along the pipe while bullets sparked off underneath. He drew his gun and fired bang, bang, bang. 2 men were hit in the legs, some struggled to flee, others fell in agony. These cultists couldn't afford protective suits. Guns were effective against ordinary members, and with current medical methods, gunshot wounds to the legs could be quickly healed. There was no need to worry about killing them. Having dealt with 2 gunmen, Lu Chenju jumped down from over 4 meters high, legs coiling around a cultist trying to escape and swiftly bringing him to the ground. The cultist attempted to shoot, but Lu Chenju locked his wrist and twisted slightly, causing a click of dislocation. He cried out in pain. Lu Chenju said, "Open the cellar door. Damn cops go to hell." The cultist was stubborn, fearless even in the face of death. Lu Chenju knocked him out with a plain but powerful slap to the ear. At that moment, everyone inside the factory had already been subdued by the police. The police officers stood in front of a hidden door, having placed explosives. Boom, the door blew open, revealing the passage beneath. Officer Ren instructed the officers with the riot shields to lead the way and ordered everyone to follow. As Lu Chenju was about to join them, Officer Ren said, "Mr. Lu, you and Liu Ying wait by the factory's drain outlet. I suspect they have a secret passage in their living quarters. These cultists are like rats with their burrows." Officer Ren was an experienced cop in these matters. Lu Chenju and Liu Ying exchanged glances and nodded before parting ways. In the room at the end of the passage, Wang Kang opened his eyes. "Boss, the police are here." "I know." Wang Kang fixed the silver mechanical arm onto his severed left arm. The electric current from the prosthetic stimulated his nerves, making him let out a low growl involuntarily. Silver hand system successfully connected, protocol in effect. "Who?" Wang Kang felt the mechanical power from his left arm and grinned widely. One Black Knight asked, "Boss Wang, what do we do? Do we fight our way out?" Wang Kang approached a wall where there was a welded-shut circular iron door, extended a blade from his silver mechanical arm, inserted it into the gap, and pried it open. "Fight my ass, time to run." Having long been prepared to be chased and to flee, Wang Kang grabbed a statue of the Blue Lotus goddess and disappeared into the passage, with the sound of trickling water coming from outside. The other cultists quickly followed. 2 core cultists, one fat and one thin, dressed in shirts, chanted under their breaths. They bit their fingers and placed their hands on the circular iron door, their blood bubbling like hot oil, yielding blossoms of blue lotus flowers that resealed the door completely. Bang, bang, bang. Meanwhile, the police reached the room, forced the door open with brute strength, and bullets struck the circular iron door, sending sparks flying. Officer Ren spoke into his walkie-talkie. "Mr. Lu, the enemy should have headed toward the river. Leave it to us. Be cautious, some of these people might have prosthetics installed." In the willow trees by the river, Lu Chenju squatted on a branch. His tiger-like eyes scanned the surroundings. Liu Ying concealed herself underwater, having held her breath for quite some time. She practiced a martial art similar to the wave-wrapping skill, choosing to make the water her battlefield. On the factory roof, police snipers had set up their rifles as a last resort. Soon enough, a figure emerged from the river's mouth. He stood on the shore, tiptoeing, cautiously observing his surroundings. "Boss Wang, seems like there's no one." He called back into the river. Shortly after, more than a dozen figures ran out. All wearing black masks, Lu Chenju couldn't determine which one was Wang Kang, but judging by the build and stance, it was likely the one with the silver prosthetic. Wang Kang said, Brothers, we split up and run, meet at the designated spot. Someone will pick us up. If anyone gets caught, just remember, to our master, death means nothing. As long as you are devout, you will be resurrected upon the master's descent into this world. Those who betray our master will fall into hell after death. Boss, we understand. Immediately, some of them jumped into the river, hoping to escape by diving. But as soon as he hit the water, it was as if a water ghost had grabbed his leg, and then a snap was heard. His leg was brutally broken. There's someone in the water. The cultist with the broken leg screamed. The other divers panicked and swam towards the hidden shores while a black-clothed figure moved underwater like a great white shark, stalking and killing. Chapter 200, 155 Hand-tier Prosthetics 5K. Fire. Wang Kang knew that a fierce battle was inevitable today. At his command, a dense hail of bullets poured out. There was a temporary stillness underwater. Liu Ying was relying on one side of the riverbank, holding her breath. Suddenly, a mocking laugh came from the surface of the water. Turns out you're here. Wang Kang's body was surrounded by blue light, and layers of blue lotus petal-shaped protrusions emerged on the surface of his skin, thick and numerous. With a flick of his wrist, the petals shot out. Bang, bang, bang. Under the water, Liu Ying dodged, but one petal still struck her. The petal dissolved upon contact with the protective suit, instantly merged onto her body surface, and adhered to the surface of the primordial film that had formed after her primordial skill reached great success. The previously impenetrable film cracked open, and streaks of fresh blood seeped out. Hiss, indeed somewhat eerie. She had taken on many judicial assistance tasks after graduation. With hard qigong and protective suits, most could be completed without injury. The last time she was hurt was a year ago. Die for me. Wang Kang's eyes blazed with blue light as he leaped forward to where Liu Ying was hiding. An odd blue flesh lotus flower grew out above his head, enveloping it. After Wang Kang had left, Lu Chenju landed nimbly from a tree like a cat, wrapping his legs around a black knight who he felt should have at least the strength of third rank. The black knight then realized there had been someone hiding in the tree above, too late. Crack! Lu Chenju's tiger claw locked onto the black knight's right arm, which he had reached back to draw. With a twist, accompanied by the sound of fracturing bones, the black knight let out a heart-wrenching cry of pain. Lu Chenju, not stopping there, twisted and broke the man's other arm as well. He grabbed the man as a shield, just in time to block a straight punch from another 7th-rank black knight. He threw the man toward the other, who kicked his comrade aside and let out a bellow, executing a mountain-crossing body and launching a spinning kick. This one was also practicing tiger form. It was like a novice swinging a broadsword before Guan Gong. Lu Chenju casually locked the man's ankle with one hand, then performed a tiger form move akin to a mountain being rammed. His elbow struck the man's chest, and the black knight was sent flying backwards, hitting the shore and spitting foam. Too weak. Accustomed to fighting with geniuses, Lu Chenju suddenly discovered that these experts, who seemed very powerful to ordinary people, were just average to him. In less than 10 seconds, 2 experts lay on the ground, unable to get up. The other ordinary cultists were already dumbfounded. They scattered and fled, but Lu Chenju charged forward with swift steps, using both hands and feet, quickly taking down all these people. At this moment, Officer Ren and his team also emerged from the sewer. Tie them all up, inject them with a potent anesthetic. A blue-skinned person with a blue flesh lotus flower growing on his chest suddenly charged forward. The flower opened its mouth and astonishingly swallowed all the bullets fired at it. Master of the Lotus, cleanse this mortal realm. Shouting the slogan as if he intended to perish together with Officer Ren, the flesh lotus flower extended and transformed into a man-eating plant, grabbing a charging police officer with its mouth and tossing him away. Officer Ren, also a 9th-rank expert, dodged to the side, pushed off the wall and spun with a whipping kick. Whack! The cultist was already prepared. The flesh lotus flower opened its mouth and bit down on Officer Ren's extended leg, rapidly closing and tightening into a bud, constricting like a group of pythons. The pain turned Officer Ren's complexion to a purplish hue, clearly suffering, while the cultist laughed hysterically. Bringing one with me before I die is worth it. Suddenly he felt something cold pierce through his chest. It was a pitch-black claw, clutching a blue and eerily grotesque heart. With his heart shattered, the cultist's gaze dimmed. Behind him, Lu Chenju withdrew his bloodied fist blade. He reminded. These people are like lunatics. Be careful, Officer Ren. Tossing the cultist's corpse aside, he surveyed the surroundings. Wang Gang was dealing with ordinary cultists. Luo Gang was struggling against a core cultist with a flesh-blue lotus flower on his face. The cultist's petal attacks were ignoring protective suits, but fortunately, Luo Gang also possessed the perfect level iron armor skill, which allowed him to hold on for a while. Liu Ying, on the other hand, was being overwhelmed by Wang Kang. Her protective suit was already stained with blood, clearly indicating injury. As for the other cultists and Black Knights, they were inconsequential. He believed the police would soon have them under control. Lu Chenju advanced with sweeping step, unsheathing his fist blade and stabbing out with his arm trembling like a gun, unleashing inch force. Along with the explosion of dark force, the cultist's knee joints burst apart. The cultist screamed in pain and collapsed to the ground, kneeling. Turning around, the flesh on the cultist's face formed a lotus flower that spat out streaks of blue light. Those were the high-speed, bullet-like flesh lotus seeds. Die. The evil method was too strange. Lu Chenju didn't dare to confront it head-on. His right foot performed a shock step, and with swallow form skill exploding, he sidestepped. A lotus seed grazed his right arm, dissolved upon contacting the protective suit, and then exploded on the surface of his body. The golden film trembled, emitting a brilliant golden light. Truly wicked, no wonder one must cultivate hard qigong. Lu Chenju felt pain in his left arm. While the power of the lotus seeds wasn't very great, they could ignore protective suits, which would be troubling for ordinary martial artists. Fortunately, his golden film was incredibly thick, offering complete resistance. There was only a slight impact that left faint red marks, which were now healing at a visible rate. He felt relieved, seemingly destined to overcome these cultists. Seizing the opportunity, Luo Gang kicked the cultist to the ground and pulled out his handcuffs. Chenju, go help Liu Ying, I can handle this. At this point, Wang Kang was frenzied. In terms of hand-to-hand combat and fighting skills, he was outclassed by Liu Ying, but empowered with divine power, he was exceptionally resilient. He was still lively despite taking several bullets, and his most vulnerable head was protected by the strange flesh lotus flower. Chapter 201, 155 Hand-Torn Prosthetics, 5K/2. Although death was imminent, Wang Kang burst into excited laughter. Ha ha ha, stupid humans, do you see? This is the divine power. A year ago I was just an ordinary person, but now I can slaughter the so-called Hua realm masters without effort. Stop struggling. Divine might is vast. You can't stop it. Seizing the opportunity, Wang Kang's mechanical claw struck Liu Ying's chest. Liu Ying felt as if she had been hit by a car on a highway, and with a loud bang, she was thrown into the river, touching her chest under the armor, which was in excruciating pain. After cultivating primordial skill, whenever she breathed energy into her chest, it would become as firm and elastic as a truck tire, serving as an excellent shock absorber. Without exaggeration, her chest was the strongest defensive part of her body. The strike was so powerful that it made her qi blood churn and become disordered. Luckily, Wang Kang did not understand her hard qigong. Had he struck elsewhere, she would have been injured. Officer Ren, seeing this, ordered everyone to surround Wang Kang. Wang Kang broke through several people's blockade and ran away. Just then, a figure flew from the riverbank like a swift swallow, catching up to Wang Kang rapidly. Roar! In the dark night, an ear-splitting tiger roar resounded. Inside Wang Kang's mind, it seemed as if a terrifying muscle-ridden tiger had burst in, causing his body to shake uncontrollably, his legs not obeying him. By the time he regained clarity, a large foot swept in from the side, the breeze wrinkling his face. Bang! Even with his blood-flesh lotus protection, his head felt as if it had been shaken into a mush. Lu Chenju's nearly 9th-ranked dark force exploded. Even a human head-sized boulder would crack apart. Wang Kang was flung away, and before he realized, Lu Chenju had already moved forward swiftly, his left tiger claw locking onto Wang Kang's normal right arm, his right fist blade dropping and chopping into it. The gold-cutting and jade-breaking fist blade penetrated deep into the flesh, but was blocked by bluish tendril-like prosthetic bones. Lu Chenju's expression slightly changed, then he quickly moved away. A silver metallic claw reached out and missed. Wang Kang, looking at his nearly severed right hand, sneered. Didn't expect this, did you? The parts I've transcended into are this invincible godly bones as tough as metal and iron. You mortals will never understand how powerful gods are. He spoke and attacked Lu Chenju again with his metallic claws. Lu Chenju dodged effortlessly to his back using the tiger shadow mysterious steps, his arms, muscles coiling like pythons, waves undulating, dark force condensing in his fists, blasting out with inch force. Bang! Wang Kang was sent flying, harshly smashing into the riverbank's stone wall, his metallic claws digging into the crevices, with chunks of stones exploding towards Lu Chenju as the mechanics roared. Lu Chenju's body surface almost overflowed with a golden light from his fully activated Arhat skill. The ding-ding-dang-dang sound of metal clashing followed, but he approached Wang Kang unharmed, his fist blade sheathed and directly aimed at his neck. Wang Kang's metal claws, positioned in front, caught Lu Chenju's fist blade. He sneered viciously. Ever been electrocuted? Crackling electricity poured out. Lu Chenju only felt a numbness in his body, a slight tingling. The next moment, the mechanical claw struck towards his throat, but he clasped it between his hands, performed a backward pick kick, and the dark force exploded in Wang Kang's groin with a crunching sound of shattered eggs. Wang Kang's pained voice came through. "Fuck, I'm going to kill you." Lu Chenju, sidestepping with a tiger tail leg, dodged Wang Kang's straight punch. The man boasted about his altered bones, but there were no bones where it mattered most. Enraged, Wang Kang swung his right hand, sending out petals of blue which flew unpredictably, hard to guard against. Lu Chenju's movement technique was pushed to its limits, yet he still got hit a few times. Thankfully, the golden film defended him well. Wang Kang exclaimed in shock. "How is this possible?" The incense master had said that these new spells granted by the gods would ignore the protection of the armor, and his experiments indeed verified this. Yet, this man in the tiger face mask was still hopping around unharmed, not a scratch on him. Could this person be a martial artist? Impossible. If he were a martial artist, he should have been on the ground already. Lu Chenju also breathed a sigh of relief. It seems this guy's evil skill can't break my defense. A burst of output fierce as a tiger, but the damage is negligible upon looked closer. With this thought, he took the initiative to attack, dashing forward in a crouching step. Wang Kang repeated his old trick, releasing evil skill with his right hand and his left mechanical claw poised to strike. Lu Chenju, like a specter, feigned several moves, fooling Wang Kang into punching at the moment his metallic claw extended. Then Lu swarmed in, his fist blade unleashed, chopping towards the joint between the metallic claw and the human hand. Crack! This metallic claw was high level, and the fist blade could not cut through, but the nerves and flesh at the joint were easily severed by Lu Chenju, blood spraying wildly. Neural connection disrupted, internal taiga fighting skill disabled. Wang Kang's expression drastically changed. Damn it, what kind of crappy prosthetics are these? No wonder Stark military industry deemed them obsolete. Without the support of the embedded fighting technique, he could only attack Lu Chenju using his own meager skills, barely resisting with the help of divine power and the power of the mechanical claw. Lu Chenju completely dominated the upper hand. Wang Kang's mechanical claw kept attacking Lu Chenju's face without any set pattern. Lu Chenju dodged by stooping, unleashed inch force, and his sharp fist blade penetrated Wang Kang's knee joint. Compared to his arm bones, the hardness of his legs was obviously much less. Lu Chenju stirred his fist blade, and with a snap, Wang Kang's leg tendons were severed, causing him to kneel to the ground. Chapter 202, 155 Hand-Torn Prosthetics, 5K/3. No. Wang Kang panicked as he urged all the divine power within his body, layers of blue lotus scale armor emerging. His form withered like the lotus leaves of autumn and winter, but what replaced it was the increasingly grotesque bloom of blue flesh on his head, visibly swelling. The tightly closed bud opened, revealing a horrifying sight. What caught the eye was a pale blue skull, wrapped around the brain, its features blurred, the eyeballs hanging by a thread, with the remaining flesh on its face rapidly dissolving. Everything was becoming nourishment for the flesh lotus. Blue Lotus Envoy, kill him. Wang Kang's voice was weak as a thread, followed by his last breath. The force of the wind whistled as his dark force cracked. Chenju's fist came smashing down, shattering the skull. The flesh lotus controlling Wang Kang's corpse rose up again. Its petals opened and closed, biting straight for Chenju. Chenju retreated swiftly, kicking back against an old willow tree, his right leg sweeping around in a large reversing cyclone kick, lashing like a whip and undulating like a dragon. The sinews and bones in his body roared, igniting all his dark force in an instant. The devastating force poured out. Boom! The rushing monster was sent flying. At the same time, gunfire erupted from all around, sniper bullets all entering Wang Kang's body, blasting apart flesh and blood everywhere. Officer Ren, leading his men, surrounded the monster, calling for backup. Director Liu, I need you to send a nearby martial artist. This mutation in Wang Kang is deeper than our intelligence suggested. He's turned into a monster after death. This monster's strength was roughly at the 9th rank of martial artists. But its evil skill could ignore protective gear, which made it troublesome. Officer Ren was worried that Chenju and the others wouldn't be able to withstand it. Lu Feng's calm voice came through. There's a martial artist on the scene, Ren. Don't worry, nothing will happen. Even if you don't trust Chenju, you should believe in the perfection of the Arhat skill. Selecting this mission as a trial, I wouldn't allow any accidents to occur. Officer Ren looked all around but saw no one. Nevertheless, she believed in Director Liu. All the other cultists and Black Knights had been subdued. Everyone on the scene watched Chenju struggle with the monster. Wang Gang was astonished. Chenju's strength could it already be at the 10th rank. Liu Ying, entangled with Wang Kang, knew all too well how difficult he could be. Not to mention the terrifying creature that had mutated after death. And now Chenju was still holding the upper hand. Wang Gang said enviously, Arhat's skill at perfection is a complete qualitative change. On the riverbank, Chenju, like a bullfighter, dodged all the attacks of the lotus head monster by swiftly moving about. After another daring rush and dodge from the creature's lunge, his right elbow delivered inch force upwards, his dark force exploding at Wang Kang's chest, blowing him 10 feet away. He rushed forward, using the tiger claw to lock the monster's left hand, and the fist blade slashed down again. A cracking sound followed as the prosthetics, along with the arm attached to it, were forcibly severed by him. The prosthetics fell to the ground, sparking erratically. The monster instinctively grabbed Chenju's shoulder with its right arm, its lotus head blooming wide, trying to swallow Chenju alive. Chenju slipped out using the yin-yang umbrella spin force, tossing the monster aside by leveraging its momentum, then connected with a stooping phoenix eye fist, the dark force concentrating at one point to explode. After a sharp crack, the monster was fiercely sent flying against the wall. Chenju followed with an arrow step leap, his flying knee strike bursting its chest cavity, his fist breaking upward just as the monster's lotus head attempted to bite him, his claws piercing into the flesh. Stab! Lu Chenju ride the momentum to chop down, tearing off a petal from the monster. The monster howled in pain, its vigor greatly diminished. So that's how it is. Lu Chenju calmly dodged the monster's kill attempt, then took a shock step backward and, using swallow form dark force with a precise effort, returned the attack, and his fierce straight punch once again stabbed the fist blade into another of the monster's petals. His figure leapt up, hooking the monster's head with his claw, and the yin-yang umbrella spin whirled down like a windmill, accompanied by a thunderous crash as the monster was slammed into the ground, kicking up a cloud of dust, and another petal was torn off by Lu Chenju. Keep going. Lu Chenju fought with increasing ease, not feeling tired in the slightest. Aside from the monster's tough skin and flesh, it only knew how to release its petals and lotus seed attacks, similar to Wang Kang, a deadly threat to others but incapable of breaking his golden body's defense. In terms of raw strength, it was far inferior to the blood feather demon of Wind Wave Forest. A quarter of an hour later, only a solitary petal remained atop the monster's head. It was pinned to the ground by Lu Chenju's foot, its last petal torn off by the fist blade. Crash! The monster's body burst into blue flames, and Lu Chenju quickly performed backflips to avoid them. In a trance, it seemed as though the phantom of a giant blue lotus flower emerged amidst the flames. Master of the Blue Lotus cleansed the world. Moments later, all that was left was a pile of ashes and a cracked statue. Lu Chenju glanced at it and immediately felt an evil energy rising, so he promptly diverted his mind. The stuff of cults was too sinister. With his cultivation, he needed to stay well away. He shook his body, clearing the dust from his person. Looking at his shredded clothing, he thought to himself, fighting is too hard on clothes. Mainly, it was because wearing armor on the outside just didn't look good, or else he wouldn't even want to wear clothes. Exhaling a long breath, he looked over at Officer Ren. Officer, it's over. Officer Ren snapped back to reality, hastily nodding. Ah, and it's over. In the abandoned factory. On the rooftop, Li Gui ended his heavenly pile cultivation. His breathing was steady, and beads of sweat on his forehead rose like mist. It ended so quickly, Chenju really had no problems. Such a level of combat is far from his limit. That night, Li Gui had been watching over the place, grateful that his heavenly pile cultivation wasn't disrupted. For him, it wasn't a waste of time. It was a good chance to assess the success of Lu Chenju's recent cultivation. So far, it looked very successful. Truly, the makings of a golden body, the defense power is formidable. Shailin's hard qigong, unparalleled in the world. The path Chenju chose seems right. Since it doesn't hinder his martial arts breakthrough realm, he can thus cultivate both internally and externally, sweeping through unbeatable opponents consistently. Moreover, the country now tends to support cross-training. This policy is favorable for Chenju. This is the alignment of time, location, and human harmony. Learning early is not as good as learning cleverly. Watching Lu Chenju and the others get into the police car and drive off, heading to Pingjiang Police Station, Li Gui leapt up and disappeared into the night, speeding towards Stone Lake. Chapter 203, 156 Vajra Zio Lu 3K, seeking monthly ticket and subscription. Pingjiang Police Station. The police convoy slowly halted, and a group of badly bruised prisoners were escorted to the detention center by officers who had long been waiting to await further interrogation. Lu Feng stood with his arms crossed, his gaze calm. Officer Ren saluted and said, "Director, thankfully, we were successful and everyone was incredibly effective. Especially Lu Chenju, who was an eye-opener for her. Faced with that sanity-shattering, bizarre creature, Lu Chenju descended like a tiger god, crushing everything. In reality, tonight, Liu Ying, Lu Ogang, and Wang Gang all performed well, but in front of Lu Chenju, they paled in comparison like mere greenery. He was indeed the person Director Lu had his eye on." Meeting room. Lu Feng watched the enforcement video and nodded slightly. Lu Chenju and the others quietly waited for the director to speak. Wang Gang, as if seeing Lu Chenju for the first time, couldn't stop staring at him, probably because Lu's performance tonight had totally stunned this good brother. The strength of the golden body was awe-inspiring. At this moment, Lu Chenju was no longer just Wang Gang's friend. He seemed more like an idol, an untouchable presence. How sad for the thick walls that block us. Wang Gang felt helpless inside. Sorry, it was he who had previously spoken too loudly with Lu Chenju. Liu Ying also continuously recalled the recent battle. Her primordial skill was strong too, but to reach perfection it still required a long time. She once thought she was a prodigy in cross-training martial arts, but compared to Lu Chenju, it was like a chasm. The most despairing fact was that this person not only had an extraordinary talent for cross-training, but also for inner boxing. Both internally and externally he was a genius, leaving no room for others. After watching the video, Lu Feng spoke. "All four of you fully meet the Vajra Group's recruitment standards. If you are interested in joining, you can come to the station to handle the relevant procedures at any time. It's getting late. Everyone can head back. Judicial assistance funds will be transferred into your accounts tomorrow." There was no doubt about Lu Chenju's performance. The others also had commendable aspects. Wang Gang said, "Director Lu, I definitely want to join, but only after the university entrance exams." By then, his Vajra palm would also achieve great success. He planned to apply to the Galaxy Martial University branch in Magic City. Magic City and Sioux City were very close, which would also make it convenient for him to go home. Lu Feng smiled and said, "That's fine, you should also discuss it with your father." Returning Pekan Wang Ba, he knew him. All right. Luo Gang and Liu Ying immediately began processing the paperwork. Joining the Vajra Group meant being recognized by a third shackles breaker like Lu Feng. This was an opportunity that must be seized. Whether they could rise meteorically depended on this moment. They didn't possess the talents of Lu Chenju. Wang Gang patted Lu Chenju's shoulder, saying, "Brother Lu, I'm going to head back first." Lu Chenju smiled faintly. "Sure, take care." As everyone departed, Lu Feng said to Lu Chenju before he left, "Whether you join the Vajra Group or not, if you have any doubts about hard Qigong, you can ask me. Although you have Mr. Chen, you probably won't need me. Chenju's level in hard Qigong might not be up to his." But in terms of teaching, he was not as good as Chen Jiu, as each had their expertise. Lu Chenju bowed and said, "Thank you, Senior Lu." It seemed his performance had indeed earned Lu Feng's appreciation. Being able to forge a connection with such a significant figure in Sioux City's police community was undeniably beneficial. Shihu Villa. Lu Chenju walked home vigorously and ran into Li Gui. "Hello, teacher. What were you doing out so late?" "I was on a judicial assistance mission." "Be careful in the future." "Teacher, here's your black tiger mask back." "I have plenty, you keep it. In the future, whenever you're on an actual combat mission, you can wear it. Although your style of combining internal and external techniques is easily recognizable, wearing a mask is still better than nothing, in case the criminal elements try to retaliate against you." "I'll take your advice." Lu Chenju watched as Li Gui walked home alone. Why would such a warm person like Mr. Li be called Iron-Faced Tiger? The next morning, Lu Chenju practiced the iron crotch skill. This cultivation technique was nothing more than gentle gathering and slow twisting. Now he had gotten the hang of it, pushing his mastery to mastery 83%. Lu Chenju breathed out deeply. Refreshing. Ding, a text message brought Lu Chenju's thoughts back. "Your account ending in 9527 has received a transfer of 800,000 from Sioux City Police's finance office. Note, judicial assistance funds, current balance, 8.8 million. The money is in the account, a full 800,000 given." It seemed his performance had greatly satisfied Lu Feng. "I have Mountain Lord now, and Void Blade can wait for a while." He planned to push forward and save up 30 million. With a DIOS Science and Technology S-ranking talent status, 27 million would get him a high-level protective suit. Then he would save up for a Void Blade. Just waiting for the hidden Dragon Martial Arts competition now. This year was the first time Sioux City branch had organized the hidden Dragon Martial Arts competition. Over the past year, both the regular and the talented classes at the branch had performed well, receiving significant financial support from the martial arts department. Thus the competition would be quite grand. The branch's top 10 rewards started at 100 Great Merit, increasing based on rank, with the champion receiving 300 Great Merit plus a martial arts supplement gift pack worth more than 1 million. With these resources, Lu Chenju was able to save up all his cash. Great Merit would suffice for his daily cultivation. King Shin Kang's residence. "Are you looking for me because you want to join the Vajra group?" King Shin Kang asked, smiling at Lu Chenju. It seemed that the police had already communicated with the school. Lu Chenju said, "Yes." King Shin Kang said, "Go ahead, it's a good opportunity. The newly established national specialized groups generally reflect the current policy trends. Seize the opportunity, and it's easier to rise with the momentum. Martial arts cultivation requires both talent and effort, but luck should not be overlooked. Moreover, martial arts are ultimately a path of combat and slaughter. You students are too well protected at school. What you lack most is practical combat experience. Training in actual combat is very beneficial. Only those who have fought hundreds of battles can master the power to break through shackles and develop the strongest body tempered by numerous trials and an indomitable martial arts will. That is what being a martial artist means." With the endorsement from his homeroom teacher, Lu Chenju felt confident. Combat is also a part of martial arts cultivation. It's the best teacher. The earliest martial arts were born out of the instinctive techniques of fighting between our ancestors and the forces of nature. The next day, Pingjiang Police Station. Lu Feng looked at the application materials on his desk and smiled. Good, the young one is teachable. Again with the tiger form, again with hard qigong. No one was better suited to be his future colleague than Lu Chenju. That night, Lu Chenju's application to join the Vajra group was approved. Lu Feng added him to small Vajra group chat with 5 people, including Liu Ying and Luo Gang, Wang Gang and others who joined after the college entrance exam. Lu Chenju also discovered his teacher Chenju there. Lu Feng, welcome new comrade Lu Chenju to join. Chenju, hahaha Chenju, you really came as well. Lu Chenju, hello teacher. Liu Ying, the group has been somewhat quiet, hope it becomes livelier in the future. Lu Feng, Vajra group is in its initial phase, quality over quantity is valued. I have carefully selected each of you for your excellent cross-training talent. Gradually, there will be more people. Liu Gang, In the future, I will need to ask the seniors for more advice. Looking around, the group was full of familiar faces. After exchanging pleasantries with everyone, Lu Chenju continued his cultivation. Before long, there was a notification on his phone. Another 500,000 deposited. Just by joining the Vajra group, even without going on missions, there was an annual base salary of 500,000. This was a bit of support from the nation for cross-training talent. Moreover, completing Vajra group missions would also grant Vajra points rewards. Vajra points could be exchanged for cross-training resources and cultivation techniques. Lu Feng gave Lu Chenju a website. Vajra. Once clicked, it displayed all kinds of cross-training resources. Apart from black jade, golden jade, and purple jade, 3 types of external-use medicines available in the school, there were also items that Lu Chenju had never heard of. Minjiu ointment, a new external-use medicine jointly developed by Strong Martial Pharmaceutical and the wonderful heavenly master Zhang Huyu from Dragon and Tiger Academy. It has passed the quality inspection by the Medicine Commission. It contains rare medicinal herbs from the Void Realm, quickly heals external injuries, and nourishes bones and muscles, suitable for 3rd rank up to martial artist group. Note, this product is not for sale on the market and is an internal resource of the Vajra Group project. Do not disclose. Wonderful Heavenly Master. This person, along with the Heavenly Doctor, was known as the unmatched dual legends in the medical field. First, their cultivation was unfathomably deep, both having lived for hundreds of years. Second, they mastered ancient and modern medical knowledge, their breadth of learning far surpassing other martial artists. Consequently, the basic textbooks on medicine, medicine-making, and human anatomy at all martial arts universities were compiled by these 2 medical giants, making their influence and status no less significant than presidents of top martial universities. Minjiu ointment belonged to the category of great medicine. Since it was not for sale, there was no listed price. It was known to need 20 Vajra points. To put in perspective, the mission he completed yesterday awarded him only 10 Vajra points. 2 missions were needed to exchange for 1 box. With my current level of hard Qigong, I don't need such expensive medicine. In the future, when progressing through golden body skill realms, perhaps it could be worth trying a box. Minjiu ointment wasn't even the most expensive. Lu Chenju also saw a Bright King ointment that required 100 Vajra points, purportedly suitable for someone seeking to break second shackles, quickly healing wounds. Joining the Vajra group, Lu Chenju finally glimpsed the tip of the iceberg of the higher martial arts circle. It appeared that many items were never sold on the market but were managed by the nation, allocated first to special talents as needed. He could understand this. In addition to medicine, there were also cultivation techniques. Iron Armor Skill Secret Manual and Beginner Tutorial, 1 Vajra point. Arhat Skill Primordial Skill Jade Armor Skill, 10 Vajra points. 18 Arhat's Golden Body Skill, 50 Vajra points. Golden Bell Jade Drum Ming King Body Lower Truth, 200 Vajra points. Upon seeing Ming King Body, Lu Chenju's eyes sharpened. Is this true skill level cross-training? Cross-training was declining, so the bearers of true skill level cross-training were very few. Ordinary cross-training martial arts were already challenging enough to learn. How much harder would true skill be? For most martial artists, instead of practicing true skill cross-training, it made more sense to find a way to enhance innate strength and grind to increase muscle mass and chi blood. Ordinary martial artists were constantly troubled by heavenly pile and true skill. It was not practical for them to pursue true skill cross-training. Thinking this, Lu Chenju continued scrolling through the cultivation techniques. Ghost Tiger Domineering Body Upper Truth, 1,000 Vajra points. It seems this is the hard Qigong that Lu Feng has mastered, likely his own exclusive martial arts. True skill was divided into 3 classes, high, medium, and low. Is there divine level cross-training? A thought struck Lu Chenju. Above true skill there was divine skill. The quality grading of divine skill was consistent with that of true skill. Chapter 204, 157 Supreme Divine Skill, 5K. Above the divine skills were those legendary supreme divine skills that were renowned throughout the land. Only martial artists who had broken through the 7th shackle of martial arts could create such unrivaled techniques, each powerful to the extreme. These supreme divine skills were often the signature treasures of top martial universities, the pinnacle of their reputation. For example, There was the Ling Kong Four Symbols Fist from Dragon City, a technique developed by the absolute peak strong of our current era, the Four Symbols master himself. He had advanced and renewed the elephant form fist theory and accomplishments of the late grand ancestor Ling Kong Shangren, culminating in the creation of the strongest fist technique within the elephant form lineage. The name of Dragon City's supreme divine skill was rather understated. Other top martial university names were more exaggerated than one another. Imperial capital Martial University boasted the glorious ultimate 7-day sky-changing saber, claiming to be the #1 in dominance. Hua Mountain Martial University had the heavenly chopping 9 swords, claiming to be the #1 in slaughter. Galaxy Martial University's Star Primordial Magnetic Tribulation Scripture, claiming to be the #1 in control. Therefore, it could be said that Dragon City was truly modest and unadorned. But back to the main point. Lu Chenju had heard of some divine skills within inner boxing. However, he had never heard of any divine martial arts in hard Qigong. Historically, hard Qigong cultivators have always been considered an alternative path. With fewer strong practitioners, naturally, there were fewer martial arts techniques. His gaze narrowed as he directly scrolled down to the bottom of the page. Dragon Elephant Heaven Supporting Divine Skill Upper God, Secret Manual and Instruction, 10,000 Vajra Points. Note, presently, only a handful of individuals possess this technique. To learn it, one must first become a disciple of a great grandmaster in martial arts, Chu Tian head monk Ding Yuan. This technique is part of inner boxing, but it also draws from cross-training, hence it is a mix of internal and external cultivation practices. The early stages are manageable, but the difficulty increases significantly in the late stage. Those who wish to learn this technique must proceed with caution. He reviewed the entire list of cultivation techniques. In the end, he confirmed that this was the only divine skill that, albeit reluctantly, could be considered as part of cross-training. It was not to exclude the possibility that others had mastered it, but for the moment, this divine skill was the only one that the Vajra group had collected. If one did not consider the Dragon Elephant Heaven-supporting divine skill, then it seemed the limit of cross-training was just superior true technique, which meant that becoming a grandmaster through cross-training was nearly impossible. Lu Chenju murmured to himself. The Chuo Tian head monk, from the introduction, it seems that this once hidden dragon list grandmaster has now ascended to the great grandmaster realm by breaking through the 5th shackle. Dragon Elephant Heaven Supporting Divine Skill. He closed the website and put away his hopeful thoughts. True skills and divine skills were too far out of his reach. I have teacher Chen Jiu, no need to learn the golden body skill here. Having witnessed higher mountains, one must work even harder with both feet on the ground. After becoming a member of the Vajra group, he had finally found an organization for practicing hard Qigong. The special group was just for trial, and once the Martial Arts Association had overcome the difficulties of cross-training, they would establish a specialized hard Qigong Martial Arts University experimental zone, and eventually introduce hard Qigong programs in all martial universities, enabling more people to practice martial arts. May everyone become as mighty as a dragon. In the following days, due to the upcoming Hidden Dragon Martial Arts Competition, Dragon City Martial Arts University was abuzz like during New Year's. Whether on the forums or offline, what everyone was most enthusiastic about discussing were this year's top 30 competitors and the hot favorites for claiming the championship. Lu Chenju had arrived late and didn't participate in the preliminary tests, yet made a sensational debut in the Jiangnan Talent Competition. His ranking on the Hidden Dragon list was high, and he was currently in 10th place among the favorites to win the championship. It's worth noting that the age limit for the competition was under 35, with many 10th-rank older strong contenders participating. Even the seasoned member of the former Tinglong 6 like Chen Zioan couldn't make it into the top 20. Her main disciplines were snake form and whip technique, without the use of cold weapons. She was at a disadvantage during sparring, which significantly reduced her strength. Most of those ranked above Lu Chenju were either 10th rank or 9-segment pinnacle fighters like Yao Cheng and Zhou Xingkang, who had always been high profile. First place, without a doubt, belonged to Wang Hongdao. Currently, he was considered the top contender of the branch school in the public eye. November 11th. A cold wave from the north descended, bringing bursts of chill. On the glittering stone lake, 4 floating platforms were set up above the water, each with no railings on the edges and measuring 12 meters in length and width. The teachers and students stood atop the surrounding boats, and Principal Wang, wearing simple training clothes, approached with a commanding presence. Standing before the podium, he spoke without emotion. The first Sioux City Hidden Dragon Martial Arts Competition begins. After a brief speech, Principal Wang left promptly, his time being extremely precious as a top-tier strong practitioner. He would only attend to observe the finals. Suddenly, a clear and piercing dragon's roar echoed from the sky. A figure descended from the heavens, landing on the surface of the lake as though walking on solid ground. His temples were spotted with gray, his hands clasped behind his back, his invisible aura stirring the waters of Stone Lake. Even though such sights were commonplace, people couldn't help but get excited. It looks like Grandmaster Wu is presiding over this match. Perform well, and who knows, the Grandmaster might take you as a true inheritance disciple. Grandmaster Wu looked around and spoke. To increase the difficulty of the matches, this competition will take place on the floating platforms. When a match is prolonged, the mechanisms within the platform will activate. At that time, the platform may become unstable, and other unforeseen circumstances that affect the battle may occur. The students' hearts tightened even more. Is this meant to replicate certain wild terrains? We have to guard not only against the opponent, but also against unexpected situations. By the side of the arena, on a boat, Liu Chenju stood with his arms crossed. On the riverbank, Liu Huan, Huo Tianyu, and others took the opportunity amidst their busy schedules to watch the matches. As an affiliated high school, they also had the right to observe, while other schools weren't permitted. The video footage of this intra-school competition wouldn't be released to the outside world. Liu Huan roared like a bear. Chenju hahaha, go for it. Tiger Teeth Girl waved her little hands in greeting. Good luck, win the championship. Seeing the familiar figures, Liu Chenju smiled and waved back. The winter exams were only 2 months away, and yet these friends were still taking time out to cheer him on. Chapter 205, 157 Supreme Divine Skill 5K /2. Having these classmates is great. Jai Chuantong was also there. For such an important competition, he naturally would not be absent. Seeing Liu Chenju's glance, Jai Chuantong nodded slightly. Go for it. Today's battle was Liu Chenju's claim-to-fame battle at school. When the Grandmaster finished speaking, the host began to introduce the competition rules. Currently, the Dragon City Branch School had over 500 people, most of whom had registered for the competition. The first day featured elimination rounds for martial artists under 35 years old, and the second day was the finals for the martial artist group. As for the martial artist group, due to the fewer participants, it would finish in half a day. Finally, the host announced a by-entry list of the top 64 seed participants, including all members of the Genius class, as well as several 8th rank and 9th rank individuals from the regular class who were selected, avoiding an early confrontation among the top competitors. It made sense. Liu Chenju chuckled. Seems like today's competition has nothing to do with me. The competition hadn't even started, yet he had already made it to the top 64. This meant he already secured a minimum of 20 great merits and a box of bright god potion. Liu Huan and others by the shore were stunned. What? Chenju by entry into the top 64? This is such a highly competitive university, it's like making money lying down. This is the university life I want. That's so cool. Just came for nothing, let's come back tomorrow. Seeing the calm Chenju, Liu Huan felt impressed inside. Being selected by Top Martial University as a seed participant, skipping straight to the finals, that's a huge face value. Liu Chenju leaped, arriving at the shore from the waves. Since everyone took the trouble to come, lunch is on me. Liu Huan gave Liu Chenju a big bear hug. He whispered into Liu Chenju's ear skeptically. You didn't reach 9th rank already, did you? Liu Chenju's signature smile was tacit acknowledgement. Damn it. Liu Huan's hanging heart completely fell. He was still some distance away from 8th rank and had already given up on entering university exempt from exams. He only hoped to get admitted with excellent grades. That would allow him to be placed in Class 2. Liu Chenju smiled. Go for it, everyone. I'll be waiting for you at the university. After not seeing each other for a long time, everyone had a great chat. Even the 2 senior sisters stepped forward and joined the lively chat. Like Liu Chenju, they were also seed participants and could directly participate in tomorrow's finals. Jai Chuantong clasped his hands behind his back and left reservedly renowned. Not bad, all three trues directly entered the top 64, with Ruyu's 8th rank strength paired with heavenly spider entangling silk strength. The top 32 is hopeful. Jai Feiyan's 9th rank cultivation ensures a spot in the top 32 unless she gets really unlucky. As for Chenju, besides those few older 10th rank and Wang Hongdao, everyone else will be a clean sweep. Old Jai had special trust in his disciples. With my invincibility, a full sweep will settle it. The next day, after practicing iron crotch skill, Lu Chenju exhaled a breath of warm air. Before leaving, Lu Gyuping said, "Perform well, son." Li Xianghua, organizing Lu Chenju's training clothes, said, "Safety first." His parents seldom watched Lu Chenju's matches now, as the foes he faced were getting stronger, and they always felt anxious. They preferred to wait for the outcome instead. "Don't worry, Mom and Dad, you just keep practicing your punches at home." This past year, the elders had noticeably improved their health. Although Lu Guoping had limited aptitude, he had still mastered basic boxing, significantly improving his chi blood. November 12, early morning. At Breezy Stone Lake side, after yesterday's rounds of selection, the final list of the top 64 was announced. Teachers and students gathered around, discussing fervently. Wang Hongdao should be able to win the championship, without a doubt. Indeed, the leader of the Tinglong Six Sons, our branch's standout. Tian Xingjian, a man who achieves greatness later in life but is no less formidable. Based on the hidden dragon list rankings, he probably entered 10th rank not long ago and should not be underestimated. There is no one simple in the genius class. Anyone listed in the top 10 favorites to win is a freak. That's right, I've heard that the last time they came to the genius class, Lu Chenju, less than a year, advanced from 6th rank to 9th rank, also among the hidden dragon list's top 500. Last time at Dinglong Hall, Lu Chenju fought 9th rank as 8th rank. I wonder if today he can face 10th rank as 9th rank. He trains both internally and externally. I think he stands a chance. Actually, there are quite a few strong young 10th rank martial artists in the regular class. Although they are older, their strength and foundation may not be inferior to those in the genius class. Lu Chenju quietly passed by, listening with interest as everyone discussed him. These people have quite confidence in me. It seems that my performance at the Jiangnan talent competition really did stand out, making everyone believe I could exceed my current rank in combat. At 8 o'clock in the morning, the competition for the top 32 officially began. Members of the genius class could finally take action. In the first batch of matches, Yao Cheng, Zhou Xingkang, Wang Hongdao, and Chen Ziyuan all took the stage. Except for Chen Ziyuan, the others swiftly defeated their opponents. The most spectacular was undoubtedly Wang Hongdao. With just one punch, he knocked a 9th rank expert into the water. Students from the regular class, who rarely saw the genius display their skills, exclaimed, "Holy crap, that's too strong. Truly a genius of the extreme limit realm." So this is the world of the genius class. It's an eye-opener. Our Class 8's top fighter was directly defeated. Students of the regular class collectively felt the significant gap. Even many discerning Dragon City teachers couldn't help but admire. This young man's future achievements will surely not be low. With whale form, there is hope that a second grandmaster will emerge. Subsequently, Old Tian and Leopard Woman also advanced without any surprises. The only one who was eliminated was Zio He. His opponent was Jai Feiyan, a 9th rank expert. Although Zio He was talented, his combat experience and absolute strength were not on Jai Feiyan's level. Chapter 206, 157 Supreme Divine Skill 5K/3. Time ticked away by seconds and minutes. Finally, it was Lu Chenju's turn to compete. As the last to enter from the talented class, gazes from all around focused on him in an instant. Except for the mascot Zio He, the performances of the talented class were extremely impressive, and everyone was eagerly anticipating Lu Chenju's performance. The boat approached the platform, and he leapt onto it with the grace of a dragonfly skimming the water's surface. The platform swayed continuously, as unstable as if one were standing on a raft. After steadying himself, Lu Chenju looked at his opponent. From the shore, Liu Huan and others shouted loudly, "Chenju, come on!" The host announced, "Class 1's Lu Chenju will fight Class 2's Lan Kaer." Lan Kaer felt a mix of nervousness and anticipation inside. As a friend of Shiruyu, she knew Lu Chenju was strong. But just how strong, she had no idea. Come on, I would be honored to receive instruction from Brother Lu. Lan Kaer stepped forward with her right leg, slightly retreated her left, tilted her body sideways, hid her left hand inside the sleeve of her training clothes, and with her right hand formed a hook pointing to the ground. This pose resembled a mantis teetering on a branch. Lu Chenju clasped his hands in a bow and said with a smile, "I'll try out the lady's mantis fist." Mantis fist originated in Qin lands, emulating the form of a praying mantis. Among the many styles, it was renowned, varied, and complex. Taikai mantis, Meihua mantis, endlessly intricate. Lu Chenju had never crossed fists with mantis fist practitioners before and was somewhat curious. Lan Kaer's dark force surged from the soles of her feet. Accompanied by the crisp sound of a mantis flapping its wings, her form skimmed low, and her right hand formed a claw, aiming for Lu Chenju's throat. Mantis Fist's angles were tricky, blending feints and strikes, with change as its essence. Among them, the hook hand was the most formidable, comparable to the snake form as one of the double pinnacles of trickery. Once deployed, it aimed for the throat or eyes, attacking the typical vulnerable areas and gaps. Lu Chenju still until he was not, and then he moved like thunder. His shock step exploded, the platform seeming ready to crumble, and with a twist of his body, his tiger form claw sprung out like a coil, swatting Lan Kaer's hook hand to the side. Lan Kaer, not daring to clash directly, retracted her hand swiftly. Lu Chenju glided forward, his fists thrusting straight at her chest like tiger heads. Lan Kaer, seeing Lu Chenju's unguarded attack, felt elated. Like a mantis, she skimmed the ground, floating to Chenju's rear. Big Saber Split Mountain. She executed the strongest move of the first-class fist technique, Mantis Mountain Splitting Fist. Her whole body's dark force aiding the downward chop aimed at Lu Chenju's vulnerable side. But Lu Chenju, like an apparition, ghosted away with dragging steps, easily dodging her ultimate move. Lan Kaer, missing her mark, rapidly retreated. The next moment, with a fierce stomping sound, the platform undulated like waves, water from the lake splashing upon it. A figure moved across the water. Lu Chenju, exhibiting the sea-sweeping body technique, moved effortlessly here like a fish in water. 5 forward sweeps, 4 left shutters, 3 upward slides. Lu Chenju's footwork was as calculated as pieces being played in Go, each step pressing Lan Kaer to the edge. Lan Kaer bellowed fiercely, making a desperate bid. With a crackle of dark force, her body vibrating like a mantis, she charged at Lu Chenju while her hook hand targeted his throat. If it were anyone else, they might have been taken by surprise and defeated, but when she hit Lu Chenju's chest, she felt the helplessness of running into an iron tower. With just a bit of exertion of the yin-yang umbrella spin vortex force, Lu Chenju spun, deflecting the impact, at the same time his left hand encircling Lan Kaer's waist and his right hand, like a collapsing mountain, landing on her chest. "Sorry about this." As Lu Chenju's words fell, Lan Kaer was sent flying, landing in the waters of Stone Lake. Her head resurfaced, with wet hair sticking down. She clasped her fist and said, "Thank you, Brother Lu, for showing mercy." From this exchange, she deeply understood that with his skill level, Lu Chenju didn't need to spar with her for so long. He had shown leniency out of consideration for Shiruyu. With a smile, Lu Chenju replied, "Your mantis fist is also very formidable. Let's continue to learn from each other when there's a chance." He wasn't letting Lan Kaer win. He simply wanted to spar with masters from different sects for a while to get a preliminary understanding of their techniques. Should he one day encounter a formidable foe from the same sect, he wouldn't be caught unprepared. He was learning during the sparring. Not only learning from his own sect, but also slightly grasping that of his opponents. To know both the enemy and yourself ensures you won't be endangered in 100 battles. Wonderful, brilliant. Old Jai sat next to teacher Qingshan Kang, applauding with excitement. Qingshan Kang also beamed with a smile. "Not bad, all 3 of my disciples made it into the top 32. Old Jai chuckled. Qingshan Kang changed the subject and asked, "When will you break through the 2nd rank? Surely Chenju won't reach that before you. How much longer will you keep polishing?" Old Jai's face turned red with embarrassment, and he hastened to reply, "That's absolutely impossible." Elsewhere, Lan Kaer returned to Class 2's boat, and Shiruyu said with a smile, "How about it? How competent is my junior brother?" Lan Kaer, wiping her drenched hair, sighed. "Fighting him was beyond anything I heard. Even among the 8th rank, she was considered skilled. Yet compared to Lu Chenju, she felt fragile as an egg. The fellow was definitely ninth rank by now. Not even a year into school, and he had already broken through 3 ranks. Could a human really achieve such a feat? The regular class students sighed as well. The gap between regular and talented classes is so big. Yeah, they say Lu Chenju had an epiphany when he was in freshman year. I also had an epiphany when I was a freshman, and here I am at 6th rank, while he's probably 9th rank already. By 10 in the morning, the top 32 list was released. There were 7 from the talented class and 25 from the regular classes. Lu Chenju glanced at the list. There were only 6 at 8th rank cultivation. The rest were starting from 9th rank, but aside from those in the talented class, the average age of these 9th rankers was 29, with the 2 senior sisters being quite young. These students all harbored hopes of advancing to martial artists. But to go further than that would be difficult. Soon, the matches for the top 16 were announced. Lu Chenju looked at the big screen. Lu Chenju Class 1 versus Su Qing Class 2. Su Qing. He checked his phone and found that his senior sister had sent him a message. Junior brother Su Qing practices snake form. Be careful. He must have broken into 10th rank 3 months ago. He's probably ranked in the top 3 in our class. Class 2 had several older students who were already 3rd rank masters. Thanks, senior sister, I'll be careful. This time it's bad luck, encountering a 10th rank expert so soon. Chapter 207, 158 Tiger captures green snake, 5K. According to what he knew, there were just over 10 at the 10th rank among the students of the branch school. It doesn't matter if it's not someone like Wang Hongdao, I should be able to fight. As of now, Lu Chenju had still never defeated a 10th rank martial arts master on his own. He was especially looking forward to the upcoming match. On the other side, the camp of the ordinary class 2. Su Qing's classmates all breathed a sigh of relief. Su Qing's got this for sure. Among those kids in the talent class, besides Wang Hongdao, probably nobody else is his match. Su Qing is going to make a name for himself with one battle. Defeating someone from the talent class with an ordinary class identity, it's incredibly satisfying. At this moment, the class teacher of Class 2 suddenly reminded them. However, you should be careful, Su Qing. Lu Chenju is skilled in both internal and external cultivation. If he has not reached the 9th rank, that's one thing, but once he's there, he would be very tricky. Looking at his ranking on the potential list, he's likely entered it, and the outcome of this battle is still uncertain. Su Qing looked at the stage and said, I'll do my best. To be honest, he himself didn't have much confidence. He might be 10th rank, but Lu Chenju was no ordinary person either. This was the overall champion of the Jiangnan talent competition, arguably the peak of low-class root bone. The class teacher smiled and said, Yes, do your best, it's no big deal if you lose. Shi Ruyu and Jai Feiyan felt a bit regretful in their hearts. After all, Su Qing was from their class, and they also hoped Su Qing could break into the top 16, but the opponent was their junior brother. There was no suspense about it. Su Qing was very likely to be defeated. The 2 women often sought to spar with Lu Chenju, and Lu Chenju, taking on both at once, managed to defeat them with ease. His strength could not be measured by ordinary standards. At the bow, Su Qing moved like a green snake swimming through water, stepping over the waves and leaping onto the stage, while at the same time, Lu Chenju too skimmed the water like a flying swallow and arrived leisurely. Both of their movement techniques were obviously top-notch. In the stage competitions, winning was one aspect, but looking good was also important. Therefore, the way one entered the stage also had its significances. The audience below couldn't help cheering. Even the sanitation workers couldn't resist clapping and shouting. This young man's Qinggong seems even more impressive. On the stage, Lu Chenju clasped his hands together and said, Tiger form Lu Chenju. Su Qing returned the salute and said, Snake form Su Qing. Su Qing sidestepped into a bow stance with his left arm raised like a cobra lifting its head and his right arm laid across his chest. The martial arts he practiced was a first-class fist technique known as green snake skill. Like Manta's fist, it was best at tricky moves. But his strength was far superior to Lan Keir's. Seeing this, Lu Chenju thought to himself with a silent sigh. It seems I've clashed with tricky hands today. Chenju once said that tricky hands were relatively restraining against cross-training because they specialized in attacking vulnerable spots, famous for their cunning and tricky moves like strangling the throat, poking eyes, and striking the groin. Before attaining the legendary golden body without weakness, one had to be extremely careful in combat. Lu Chenju got into position and said, "Come on." Su Qing approached with snake forms gliding steps, moving erratically, with his body trembling as if sifting chaff, and a faint hiss could be heard. That was the sound of tendons and bones vibrating in unison, the internal organs trembling, a sign that the dark force had been practiced to the extreme. Facing this agile fighting style, Lu Chenju still responded to every change with unchanging strategy. Although he supplemented with swallow form, that was just a third-class set of moves. Capturing Su Qing would be very difficult, and swallow form could only be effective if it took him by surprise. Lu Chenju moved with Taikai, leisurely circling around. After Su Qing roamed around for a while, he suddenly glided forward with a snake form's crafty hand breaking through the air, accompanied by a fierce burst of wind, aiming for Lu Chenju's throat. Lu Chenju's tiger form left claw was placed in front of his throat, while his right claw, like a spring, shot out with inch force to lock Su Qing's tricky hand. But Su Qing's arm trembled and bent like a flexible snake, avoiding the capture. Weak water 100 transforming force. While Lu Chenju softly chanted, he lunged forward with a charging punch. Su Qing slid backward, and then he skimmed sideways to a blind spot in Lu Chenju's field of vision. Leaning forward with one hand as a snake tail and the other as a crafty hand, he reached for Lu Chenju's throat from behind, the angle treacherous. Lu Chenju dared not let a 10th-rank master lock onto his throat. Even with hard qigong, it wouldn't be favorable. He retreated with the momentum and simultaneously stamped his shaking feet on the ground, causing the platform to sway like a solitary boat. This caused Su Qing's tricky hand to deviate slightly, and Lu Chenju, turning his body to the right, swept his tiger tail leg wrapped in a windy force. Su Qing didn't dare to take a hard hit and quickly slid backward to dodge. In the initial exchange, neither of them gained the upper hand. After they both stood firm, they circled each other at a moderate pace, observing. Perhaps noticing that Lu Chenju didn't seem to have the upper hand, Su Qing gained some confidence, thinking that the people from the talent class might not be as formidable as imagined. He took the initiative to move in closer. The continual flow of snake form dark force made his movements even more graceful. He started with a fake move of the snake form crafty hand, tempting Lu Chenju to lash out with a tiger form claw. Su Qing's other hand buzzed and vibrated, followed by the explosive release of dark force after a sound like a rattlesnake. Green snake shaking scales. Lu Chenju had never encountered such a dark force. In a flash, he felt as though he had been electrified, his right arm numb and sore. He quickly withdrew his arm to get free, but Su Qing's snake form hand wound around his like a python, seemingly boneless as it constricted Lu Chenju's right arm. Green python constricting a deer. Snake form cultivation required pairing with the soft body skill and bone shrinking technique. Hence, snake form masters, joints and dexterity, especially in the arms, were far higher than other factions. Great indeed, each shape has its strengths. I've learned something new. Despite being at a disadvantage, Lu Chenju let out a joyful laugh, which puzzled Su Qing. Faced with such a deadly attack from himself, how could this guy still laugh? Seeing that his arm couldn't break free, Lu Chenju simply stopped trying to escape. With a deep breath, an invisible qi line instantly surged through his body like an electric current, passing through the 18 major acupoints that were already opened, as if conjuring an image of a fierce white tiger with upturned eyes and a white forehead in his mind. Chapter 208, 158 Tiger capturing green snake, 5K/2. Inviting tiger to possess. In an instant, his physical presence surged, surprisingly comparable to that of Su Qing, who had just entered the 10th rank with a qi blood level of 6.23. Although Chenju was not at the 10th rank, his qi blood soared above 5.8, and with the initiation of Tiger Spirit Divine Strike, the difference between them narrowed even more. His right arm, previously strangled, instantaneously became engorged with blood, ballooning up like a bursting balloon. Muscle bands coiled like dragons, and his golden film shone more brightly than ever before. Su Qing's strangling force began to weaken. Feeling something amiss, the snake form crafty hand receded from Lu Chenju's arm like a falling tide. Lu Chenju initiated the yin-yang umbrella spin, and as his body somersaulted counterclockwise through the air, Su Qing's snake form strangling move inadvertently became tensed. Damn! He muttered under his breath, realizing his mistake, that he shouldn't have initiated the strangle. In an instant, An immense force pulled on him, his arm locked in place, incapable of brute force withdrawal without risking a fracture. He could only glide along the oncoming force, stepping sideways and simultaneously deploying his other hand in a snake-form crafty hand towards Lu Chenju's eyes, forcing him to release his grip. Lu Chenju instinctively closed his eyes, his body and muscles retroactively leaning back, evading the crafty hand. He quickly corrected his stance and his solid kick hit Su Qing's abdomen. Su Qing used the weak water 100 transforming force to deflect the impact, but his abdomen still churned tumultuously. Lacking hard qigong, a kick from an equally skilled fighter was not easy to endure. By then, Su Qing had freed his strangling hand and hastily retreated, pondering his next move. Chenju, however, did not grant him that opportunity. In martial combat, when the enemy's rhythm jumbles, one must strike decisively to break it. Merging his waist and hips, his legs quivered with dark force, every step landing like a landmine detonation, causing the platform to shake incessantly under his immense force. Su Qing's snake-form movement technique primarily relied on sliding steps, extremely agile on flat ground, unpredictable like a spirit snake, but now the quaking platform limited his mobility. Simultaneously, the prolonged battle activated the platform's mechanisms, wooden stakes thrusting upward intermittently, further complicating Su Qing's movements. In contrast, Lu Chenju stood firmly, his seemingly slow steps always reliably landing on the platform or the wooden stakes, varying in height and direction. Regardless of how the terrain shifted, he was rooted like a tree, each step resonant and resolute. Su Qing found himself completely at a disadvantage, like a green snake toyed with by a ferocious tiger, only managing to delay the inevitable by occasional snake-form crafty hand strikes. Lu Chenju steadily pressured forward, excelling in prolonged conflicts, discovering his opponent's patterns and always devising solutions. The pair had exchanged 500 moves. This was, by far, the longest match to date. Jai Chuantong finally breathed a sigh of relief. Stable. Once Chenju controlled the pacing, it was the signal for victory. Su Qing made one mistake, leading to another, now entrapped in a situation with no return. Class 2 section. The classmates were all sweating for Su Qing. Could Su Qing really lose to Lu Chenju? He is at 10th rank after all. It's doubtful, mainly because Chenju's Qi blood isn't just any ordinary 9th rank. The class teacher of Class 2 remarked. Yes, that's the key. Chenju also has the advantage of hard qigong, and the tiger form fist he trained seems to temporarily boost his presence, likely the notoriously difficult tiger spirit divine fist. Once activated, it's like having a god's assistance. Thus, the difference in their qi blood narrows even further. Moreover, with Chenju's hard qigong protecting his body, his overall strength is inherently superior to Su Qing. Had Su Qing maintained a cautious approach, constantly probing with crafty moves focusing on soft spots, he might have leveraged the agility of his snake form to turn weakness into strength. But he underestimated the intensity of Chenju's hard qigong. I suspect Chenju might have already cultivated the golden Buddha Arhat body. So Su Qing's fatal strangle not only failed to give him an advantage, but it also initiated his downfall, not entirely his fault, as Chenju is simply too strong. Who could have thought? So young, yet already forming the rudimentary golden body. Classmates of the ordinary section sighed dejectedly. Everyone in that elite class is a monster. We were counting on Su Qing to go to the main branch to bring us honor. Alas, bad luck. On the platform, just as analyzed by the teacher of Class 2, leveraging his movement technique, another 100 moves passed, and Su Qing's slippery form was finally captured by Lu Chenju, who with his robust arms encircled from behind, immobilizing Su Qing's arms. Crackling sounds erupted from within Su Qing as he attempted to shrink and escape, but Chenju gave no quarter, the explosive black tiger dark strength erupting as he lifted Su Qing and smashed him down backward. Su Qing's expression subtly shifted, and the teachers on the platform tensed. Su Qing's homeroom teacher was already prepared to forcefully intervene in the match to save him. But just when Su Qing's head was about to smash into the ground, the motion halted. Lu Chenju gently set him down. Su Qing rolled and stood up, then saluted with a fist. Brother Lu is superior in skills, I admit defeat. Lu Chenju returned with a smile. Thank you for letting me win. Fighting against a 10th rank fighter was exhilarating. It had been a while since he felt this thrill. It was also his first victory over a 10th rank. On his own fair and square. On the shore, Fangshan High School's cheer squad chanted loudly. Liu Huan. Chenju, totally awesome. Liu Quanhai lamented continuously. Chenju has become so unfamiliar. Damn, why am I only at 5th rank? I'll work hard to reach 6th rank before the martial arts college entrance exam. At least I would be able to make it to ordinary class too. Just entered 9th rank, Yu Shan reflected. Back when I was at 7th rank, he was at 4th. Chapter 209, 158 Tiger captures Green Snake, 5K/3. I've finally reached 9th rank with difficulty, and he can already dominate those at 10th rank. My father even told me to take care of Lu Chenju on a daily basis. Who the hell am I to do that? Su Qing returned to the classroom. The classmates were still applauding for him. Jai Feiyan smiled and said, Class leader Su, don't be discouraged. A noble defeat is still an honor. Su Qing forced a smile. Something about that phrase felt off. I at 10th rank just lost to a 9th rank. The competition for the top 16 continued. Jai Feiyan, taking advantage of the swallow form, defeated a 9th rank expert who practiced the golden toad fist. Shiruyu was lucky, matched against one of the 8th rankers. Their strengths were quite even, and after a tough battle, Shiruyu also narrowly won. In the end, among the top 16, she was the only one who was not a 9th rank. This made Jai Chuantong ecstatic. The current result was the ideal scenario. Among the top 16 contenders, my true inheritance occupies a third of them. Old Jai really got lucky. King Shinkang, seeing his smugness, felt heartened as well. Either way, their master-disciple lineage had successors. When was it? Unknown. Hong Fu also appeared on the bank, standing next to Li Gui. He had no classes today, so he came to watch Lu Chenju's finals performance. He chuckled and said, Teacher, was I right? This kid is a top-level tiger form talent. Li Gui looked at him expressionlessly and calmly said, Yes, when he first arrived, I could see this kid was extraordinary. The competition continued. Among the other students in the talent class, Chen Ziyuan was a bit unlucky to encounter a 10th rank expert from the regular class and was eliminated early, while the rest made it to the top 16. During lunch, due to the morning's battles, Lu Chenju had become quite famous. His reputation spread within the school, and people kept approaching him to get acquainted and become friends. He politely accepted them all, which allowed him to get to know many practitioners of other fist techniques. The ways of the elephant form are vast and profound. In future contests, he would inevitably face off against more talents of the elephant form and even other boxing lineages. He didn't need to master each school, but he had to have a basic understanding to face them with confidence and not be caught off guard. Making friends and exchanging knowledge was the best approach. After finishing his meal, Lu Chenju was getting ready to leave when another figure approached. Classmate Lu, my name is Huang Hao. Let's get to know each other. The newcomer was the student from Pingjiang High School that Qin Zheng often complained about. Lu Chenju had a good memory and had always remembered him. He smiled slightly and said, Sure, I didn't expect you'd also come to Dragon City. Given his status, he naturally had no interactions with Huang Hao. Huang Hao thought Lu Chenju would reject him. He looked surprised and said, Yes, I'm in class too. Lu Chenju was somewhat surprised. This Huang Hao's talent was pretty good. He smiled and said, That's good, we can exchange and practice when there's a chance. After they became friends, Huang Hao realized his personal signature had not been changed. Dragons do not dwell with snakes. After thinking it over, he changed it to, Through thousands of mountains and valleys, dragons and snakes rise together. With my strength, what right do I have to say dragons do not dwell with snakes? He scoffed at himself and went back to practice his boxing. In this hidden dragon tournament, he was eliminated on the first day. In the afternoon, the competition continued. On the riverbank, Jai Chuantong stared intently at the big screen. The students from Fangshan High School were also holding their breath. Don't pair Chenju with Wang Hongdao. Exactly, better to match him with a 9th rank. Chenju also only narrowly won this morning. 10th rank is too strong. They were all hoping for Chenju to make it to the top 4. The results for the top 16, advancing to the top 8, came out. Shiruyu Class 2 versus Zhou Xingkang Class 1. Lu Chenju Class 1 versus Yao Cheng Class 1. Seeing this, the students from Fangshan breathed a sigh of relief. Looks pretty steady, right? Doesn't seem like he's 10th rank. Steady, I heard this Yao Cheng is at the peak of 9th rank, the son of a grandmaster. Well, it doesn't feel that steady. Don't worry, Chenju will steamroll. The classmates didn't know about Lu Chenju's practical training record. In their eyes, every student in the talent class was divine. Only Jai Chuntong relaxed a bit. Steady. Though Yao Cheng was strong, he was still not a match for Lu Chenju. This was the confidence belonging to his master. King Shinkang inwardly offered his condolences for Yao Cheng. After several practical trainings, he was well aware of the strength of the 8 people in the talent class. It could be said that except for Wang Hongdao and Old Tian, no one else was a match for Lu Chenju. Hope Yao Cheng can be open-minded about this. The kid was too arrogant. However, after years of training, he had improved a lot. Yao Cheng swept his hands behind him and leaped onto the ring like an eagle striking the water. Deep inside, he felt an indescribable excitement. Finally, at long last, he could have a grand battle with Lu Chenju on the ring. Regardless of winning or losing, he had long looked forward to it. On the lakeside, Yao Cheng's supporters were cheering. Yao Cheng, Yao Cheng. As one of the Tinglong Six, his popularity was always high along with Zhou Xingkang. Lu Chenju swept onto the ring and landed. On the shore, Liu Huan and others raised their voices competitively. Lu Chenju, Lu Chenju. Not only familiar friends, but also many strangers chanted his name. After all, he was the champion of the Jiangnan talent competition, having just beaten a favorite to win the 10th rank. Lu Chenju, the divine of low-class root bone. Stand up for us with low-class root bones. Go for it. This was the first talent class internal battle of this martial contest. The atmosphere on site was even more fervent than when Lu Chenju just fought with the 10th rank. Wu Grandmaster, who was practicing Heavenly Pile in the stands, also looked over. It's old Yao's grandson. Grandmaster Yao, usually busy with his cultivation, hardly managed Yao Cheng. Although Yao Cheng's father was the son of a grandmaster, his talent was too poor. With all sorts of resources maxed out, he was only at the extreme limit realm, and only Grandmaster Yao could manage that kid at home. Hope he grows up fast. Yao Cheng didn't lack talent. What he lacked was the mind realm. As for Lu Chenju, Wu Grandmaster was quite at ease. He was very optimistic about this young man's future achievement as a martial arts grandmaster. Chapter 210, 159 Ascending to the town for 9 days, descending to honor the mountain and forest. 5K for monthly ticket and subscription. Come on. Lu Chenju clasped his fists, then stood with his arms crossed in tiger form stance. Yao Cheng extended 3 fingers, adopting the eagle claw hand shape. His left arm swept back horizontally, and his right arm diagonally upward and backward, eagle claw reaching out towards the sun, in a pose like a great rock spreading its wings. In a trance, he seemed to transform into a patrolling eagle in the sky. This was the eagle's aura. The audience applauded appreciatively. Yao Cheng's aura is he almost at 10th rank. His fist theory must have also reached the conveying the shape level. Hiss, terrifying indeed, worthy of the genius class. That eagle claw almost seems to have a metallic sheen. Like iron, that's the sign of great success in the eagle claw technique. This is first-class martial arts. I wonder if Lu Chenju's Arhat skill can withstand it. It feels like even at perfection there's a risk of being torn open. Even if he can win, I'm afraid it will come at a cost. Before a blow was struck, a crowd already exclaimed at the power displayed. Yao Cheng's eagle claw gleamed with a cold light, and he said, "The eagle claw is ferocious. Brother Lu, be careful." After speaking, Yao Cheng swept forward in attack, like a falcon diving for prey. In the blink of an eye, he had reached for Lu Chenju's head, with a fierce wind buffeting his face. Before the punch arrived, Lu Chenju felt as though his face might be slashed. He retreated with shaking feet and launched swallow form skill, nimbly dodging. Yao Cheng's eagle claw followed closely, striking like lightning. His penetration palm cast out phantom images, each one aiming for the vital intersections of Lu Chenju's meridians and pressure points. A hit would surely not be pleasant. Eagle claw technique was best at clinging clothes and gripping veins, separating muscles and misplacing bones, and sealing breath with pressure points. It had the trickiness of snake form and mantis fist, as well as the hard, unmatched might of a tiger or leopard. In nature, few could rival an eagle of the same size. Eagle form ranked quite high among all shapes. Like fireworks, Crisp sounds exploded over the surface of the lake as Yao Cheng's eagle claw and Lu Chenju's tiger claw had exchanged dozens of rapid blows in a short time. The eagle claw was sharp, but for the moment, it failed to penetrate Lu Chenju's hard qigong defense. But Yao Cheng was no fool. He concentrated his attacks on a single point, aiming to forcibly break the golden film. Lu Chenju planted every step heavily, shaking his figure, gradually dissipating the ferocity of the eagle claw through the general armor removal force. His internal organs and skeleton trembled. The fierce power of tiger form and the clever maneuver of swallow form, like the yin-yang fish, spun into a might storm concentrating at the retreating, soon-to-land right foot. Boom! With a severe tremor, the whole platform sank downwards. Using the rebound force, Lu Chenju's tiger form elbow exploded with fierce dark force. His body spun like a yin-yang umbrella, his shoulder and elbow meeting Yao Cheng's eagle claw, clashing hard against the strike. Yao Cheng's eagle claw, as if hitting a mountain, could penetrate a large tree, comparable to a cross-strained iron claw, trembled and shuddered, vibrated back in front of him. His complexion shifted rapidly. He retreated quickly to release the force, his form shaking like old willow branches, stabilizing only at the edge of the platform. Lu Chenju stood with a smile, gesturing with his hand. Continue. This immense confidence nearly shattered Yao Cheng's spirit. He felt that Lu Chenju had given him a chance. If Lu Chenju had used Tiger Roar to intimidate him, there was a chance to defeat him at once. His face flushed with shame and anger, Yao Cheng let out a long howl and swooped in again. Just as Lu Chenju's tiger claw reached his chest, Yao Cheng performed a somersault, and then his right leg whipped out in midair. Eagle wing hits the ground, to shock the gray wolf. Lu Chenju moved with the moon step, circling his opponent. Before the eagle wing struck him, he was already leaning against Yao Cheng's side, his muscles and skeleton resonating, dark force snapping crisply. Crack! Yao Cheng was shaken, stumbled backward, and Lu Chenju caught his kicking right leg with tiger form claw. Yao Cheng stomped the ground with his left foot, leaped into the air and kicked towards the face, forcing Lu Chenju to release him and step back, landing at the rear of the platform. Despite clearly being at a disadvantage, Yao Cheng chose to risk a bold move rather than dodge, and he struck swiftly, aiming a blow at Lu Chenju's chest. For a moment, Lu Chenju miscalculated and was actually hit. He used yin-yang umbrella spin to disperse the force and stepped close to Yao Cheng. Yao Cheng turned his left hand into inch force and struck at Lu Chenju's throat, while his retracting right hand transformed into an eagle claw, aiming for Lu Chenju's neck. Hands like eagle claws flipped up and down, arms like wings spread left and right, striking with a blow and grabbing on the return. Once the eagle claw was launched, it never came back empty-handed. Lu Chenju's neck was caught by Yao Cheng, the immense force causing him to tilt forward, surely sustaining a scratch on his neck. Going with the momentum, his body leaned forward and fell, quickly rolling to dodge Yao Cheng's following blow to the abdomen. He rose to his feet and pounced at Yao Cheng. His tiger claw, like a mountain, pushed aside the grandiose series of eagle claw strikes, his body pressing tightly to Yao Cheng, striking his opponent. Yao Cheng kept retreating to release the force, flipped, and followed up with a leg sweep attacking Lu Chenju's lower body. Lu Chenju leaped into the air with swallow form skill, his knee harboring the fierce power of tiger form like a cannon striking Yao Cheng in the chest. Bang! Yao Cheng was sent flying. Lu Chenju rushed forward, seizing the moment when Yao Cheng was suspended in midair and unable to move. He too spun 360 degrees in the air, executing a tiger tail whirlwind kick, striking Yao Cheng on the side. Yao Cheng barely managed to protect himself, and his figure was struck down to the platform. He fell into the water, and moments later swam away without a word. He had lost, and there was nothing to say about it. He was no match for Lu Chenju. Lu Chenju's perfect score was indeed well earned. First defeated by 10th rank, and now by himself. In the genius class, only Old Tian and Wang Hongdao were his true opponents. If one is lacking, then train more. Awesome! Lu Chenju inwardly rejoiced. This Yao Cheng's power was a notch below Su Qing's, but true to his reputation, his kung fu was on point and his fighting spirit was strong.